Hey, we're back for another battle report. I'm Crabblesworth.
I'm Ski Mask Mohawk.
It's a good Friday, one might say. So we're doing 2,000 points Marine on Marine Forge World Mayhem.
Single Force Org.
Yeah, because 2 Force Orgs, a bit much.
It's like 2 abortions instead of just 1.
So I took Severin Loth. That's pretty much it.
I took Corvidae and Contemptor Dreadnought.
So not a lot of Forge World, but enough to make it spicy. We'll be back in a minute with our usual long, protracted discussion of terrain. So, like any decent individual with a dick, a brain, and a heart, we talk about terrain before we have a game. So, since you guys aren't privy to our conversation, I'll kind of give you the gist of it. This stuff here is like a ruin. The difference and where we would be differentiating from the normal ruins rules is we don't count this as area terrain at all. We just count it as clear. So if you were to go through here, for example, no tests required, no change in initiative, anything like that. Climbing, you still take difficult. We also don't count the floors as difficult. And most importantly of all, we don't allow melting through walls, meaning these are very much impassable. You'd have to go around. Moving on, this guy works the same way. Something it has in common with this one is it has doors. Doors are the only place we allow melting through wall, but I mean, now that you need LOS to assault in 40k anyway, you can block it off really easily. It's actually a nice simple mechanic. Any of the low cover is going to be a 5+ save instead of the 4+ save like ruins, and we play these as destructible, pretty simple. A tank would drive into it, take it dangerous. If it passes it, you just pull that piece. If it wants to knock over both pieces, it would test twice, take off the corresponding parts. Wrecks, we play with what we call destructible wrecks. The wreck has the same armor facing and stuff it always would. The difference being any wreck would just, glance would remove the wreck. Any pen would explode the wreck and you replace it with a crater. We just use little markers. This guy here, again, likely a ruin. The difference being is I don't think we'll play anything as difficult other than you have to climb over something. 28 mils trying to climb through there would be difficult, but most stuff will have to go around anyway. If you're on a 40 mil or not, you're not going to melt through there. You'll have to come around to assault. Not an Imperial Statuary for obvious reasons. This, I guess, assumed difficult if you're climbing over it. It's still open terrain. Oh, knock that over. These other statues of Imperial looking guys are also not Imperial statuaries. They're just there for the looks. The river. The river is basically just difficult terrain. We actually don't make it so it's area terrain because getting cover for being in there doesn't really seem that smart. This guy's a ruin. This guy's a ruin. You climb up just like normal. Over here, this guy's a ruin. Got some doors there. Got another wreck over there. That sign will just be impassable. The tank traps will also be impassable to everything. And they'll be 5+ because they're low cover. Walls over here, destructible. And of course, 5+. And we got more of them over here. And another ruin there. We are actually playing with 2 pieces of area terrain this game, which would be this forest here and the one over there. The thing is, we're a bit more anal because we can't actually remove terrain features like area terrain says you should. We play it as impassable pretty much for vehicles, dreadnoughts, stuff like that. If you can fit through, fine. If you can't really fit through, you're kind of shit out of luck. And of course, the roads don't count for anything other than looking cool. And these big walls here, obviously impassable because we're going to make those permeable. Why even fucking have them? So that would be our lengthy and detailed terrain discussion. We do this so that we don't have arguments during the game. Anyway, we're going to move on and talk about our armies. Okay, so here is my count as Scorpion whatever fucking thing. It's using that trait that comes with the guy that I'm abusing for obvious fluff reasons. So yeah, I'll just start at the back. I've got a Talon with the better missiles, the Strength 8-1 Typhoon. Stalker, and I've added a Stormbolter because I'm cynical. I've got a Typhoon with a multi-melta back there. Because character Loth guy allows me to, I've taken an Honor Guard and given them a drop pod. Got 3 axes, 1 Relic Blade, and then Chapter Banner, one of the axe guys, and the Chapter Champion's got a Thunderhammer. 5 scouts with close combat weapons. Sergeant's got a Melta Bomb and a Storm. Combat squad with Las Cannon and Razorback with Las Cannon Plasma. Same thing again. Thunderfire Cannon, Attack Bike with Multi-Melta. 5 Thunderhammer Storm Shield Terminators. Dev Centurions. 2 more combat squads with Las Cannon, and of course Mr. Loth there. And I think what his trait does is it lets the sergeants count as apothecaries so that units get feel no pain. And I'm like, I get to reroll pinning or something. Anyway, that doesn't matter. So yeah, that's my 2,000 points. And we play with choosing Warlord traits, so I didn't use his stupid witch thing. I just took Scorelord to forge a narrative. So yeah, that's my army.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Alright, so this is my 2,000 point Raven Guard army. Because I took Corvidae, all my Assault Marines are troops, so we're there for that. So I have 5 man with power weapon and 2 flamers. The same again over here. Storm Talon with the Strength 8 missiles. Contemptor Dreadnought with the Assault Cannon and Melt-A-Gun for the Fist attachment. 5 scouts with combat weapons and camo cloaks in the Storm. A 10 man with a drop pod, and they have a las cannon and a Melt-A-Gun. 5 combat scouts, again just like close combat weapons, camo cloaks. 1 5-man tactical squad with a las cannon. 5-man devastator squad with 2 las cannons. I have 5-man Termi squad with the Thunderhammer storm shields and another one over there. Then I have Corvidae and the Chapter Master with Eternal Warrior, Fiery Sword, and Artificer armor. And for my Warlord trait, I also took Scorelord on the Chapter Master. Alright, so for our mission and deployment, we got short table edges. And when we do deployment, we replace the Vanguard strike with the 5th ed one, the quarters, because the diagonal is really retarded. Need a lot of math to actually get the proper one. But for objectives, we got 4, because we only roll on Crusade. We only play that. Other ones are gay. So there's one right down here by the forest. There's one over here in the ruins. There's one right here. And then there's one under this piece of terrain. And you may be wondering, well, why aren't they just 12 inches from each other and 6 inches away from the board edge? And that's because we deploy objectives like 5th ed. So we roll to see who deploys objectives, we put them down, then we roll for sides, and then so forth. So that's why they're not cynically castled and actually kind of fair. Alright, so this is my deployment. Starting over here, I have a 5-man with las cannon. I have my Scalix and their Landspeeder Storm. My Assault Marines with Corvidae. I got 5-man with las cannon next to my objective. Got a 5-man old squad with the Chapter Master. And I got a big Contemptor behind them. And then over on my second objective, I got my Devastators and 5 scouts hiding right underneath. And I'll do my reserves. So here's my reserves. I got my 2 squads of Terminators that are deep striking. And I got the compulsory flyer and the drop pod. And I put my Terminators in reserve to possibly counter his deep striking Terminators.
Okay, so it is Scorpion Dude's deployment, Deathwatch, count those. I forgot to mention my powers, which I chose because Forge rules ahead of the curve. So I've got Telekine Dome, which does something. I've also got Vortex of Doom to forge a narrative, cynically speaking. And last but not least, I've got Gate of Infinity to forge a narrative, cynically speaking. So yeah, the actual deployment, we can talk about that too. So back here I've deployed a destroyed Leman Russ, as you can see. I got Thunderfire here kind of hiding behind Razorbacks. Attack Bike, 2 Razorbacks, nothing in him. Stalker. 5-man combat squad las cannon over here. Another 5-man combat squad of las cannon here. They infiltrated up there. 5-man Thunderfire, Storm Shield Terminators. Cleary's got 2 units dropping, so I had to be careful there. I couldn't go too deep. 2 more las cannon combat squads up in here. Got my speeder or whatever, Typhoon with multi-meld back there. Severin Loth Countaz is with his Dev Centurions here. So yeah, that's my deployment. We're going to try and steal initiative live because people have been asking us for live rolls. So here we go. No one expects the Inquisition. Nope, they expected them. Alright, so we'll be back after Raven Guard turn 1. When I said we'd be back to show you the Raven Guard's turn 1, I lied to you because you cannot trust the Inquisition. We're all liars. So here are my reserves. I've got a Stone Talon in reserve, just normal reserve. And turn 1, the Honor Guard for Sapper Loth, which, wouldn't really need to hang out with him, will also be dropping.
Alright, so Raven Guard turn 1. Not much happened when pod came in. I wanted to place it here, but it scattered 12, mishapped, and my kind opponent put in my deployments on. Other than that, I just moved up with the Submarines and the Land Speeder, and shuffled around to try to get them out of Centurion range. However, plans went a bit awry. In the shooting phase, I tried to kill that with the scouts and grenades inside. Didn't do anything. I tried shooting at a stalker with a las cannon, passed his cover save, and I tried to call down the big kaboom on them, and it scattered 5 and only killed 1. So that's it for Raven Guard turn 1. See you at the bottom of Red Watch turn 1.
So it's the end of Deathwatch / Red Scorpions turn 1. Things happen. Let's start over here. My Stalker moved 6 inches and fired at 2 separate units. I believe killing 1 Marine over yonder. Moving back this ways. This tactical squad, the last cannon stayed still, where the rest of the guys moved around. They fired on the scouts ineffectively, I think, or maybe killing one, I can't remember. Guys up in here took a pot shot at Ski Mask's drop pod, doing nothing. Or no, sorry, causing 1 hull point. Very meaningful. Shaken. These guys moved up and fired at the storm that was there, exploding it and killing 3 of my own scouts in the process. And then my scouts eventually moved in for an assault, and now it's 2 scouts v 2 scouts. Very interesting. Over here, they moved and then ran to spread out. He's got his deep strikers coming in. Scouts up in here took a pot shot at the Dreadnought and did nothing. Scouts up in here, Tactical squad up in here took a pot shot and killed a single Marine over in that building. My speeder here moved into the river past its dangerous and then fired its missiles at that unit over there. My Dev Centurions used the 1 warp charge to give Loth his invul save. Then they teleported over here. I split fire between this unit and that, and I did a whole wound on him. He made quite a few invul saves. I think he made 4. So not very good there. My drop pod, of course, came down turn 1, and Loth's Honor Guard got out and ran a whopping inch. So forging narratives there. So yeah, interesting start. Clarence will be rolling for his reserves, so that could get scary. We'll see you at the end of Raven Guard turn 2.
Alright. Alright, so it's Raven Guard turn 2, end of it. And 2 of my reserves came in, my Storm Talon and my Terminators. So, movement, moved the Storm Talon up. I moved Assault Marines over, 5 man up a bit, and just over here I moved my Assault Marines and my Dreadnought up. For shooting, I tried to take a bunch of pot shots at his Stalker. Only 1 got through, and I you can only snap fire next turn, so it doesn't matter because it always snap fires everywhere. And I killed 3 of his 5 Honor Guard off with shooting. Assault phase, I charged him, passed a ton of saves, and killed 4 back, but capped him with Thunderhammer, bashed them in, so that was fun. And over here I killed the Centurions, but sacrificed the Sergeant, so Loth couldn't really attack. So that's about it. And see you guys at the bottom of Death Scorpion turn 2.
It was the end of Scorpion Watch turn 2. My plane came in, as you can see over here. It's pretty sweet. We can start kind of here. So Stalker split fire between 2 targets. I did nothing to the Terminators. I did something to the plane, I think. Did a hull point plane. Here, fired the Terminators, killed one of them, I believe. The unit then killed, I think, one more. There was 3 left. Thunderfire fired all the way over yonder at Clarence's dev squad, killing the last cannons, but they didn't pin, they didn't run. So there's 3 less dudes over there now. He took a pot shot at Cleary's Dreadnought, but did nothing. My Razorback fired, and I don't think it did anything. Land Speeder fired the missiles and multi-multi at the Dreadnought, putting 2 hull points and making it so he can't move or shoot. What else now? Terminators came up. Didn't manage to get the assault off. I managed to get the assault in with my assault bike after it shot the Terminators, but didn't do much. My Talon fired at Ski Mask Mohawk's Talon, and yeah, it didn't do much there. And in close combat, our scouts, 2 of them killed each other, and then our sergeants are still fighting, kind of funny. And Cleary over there managed to finally wreck my drop pod. Masterful victory. Severin Loth ended up teleporting and then scattering even wider over there. Then he ran 3 inches. So there's Mr. Loth, who is my leader. And the Storm fired at Ski Mask Mohawk's assault squad, killing 3, I want to say, and they actually ran, which is weird. If there's your 10. So that's quite rare. So things are going okay. Kind of sucks to have lost the dev sense earlier on there, but should have us. So we'll see you at the end of Who's My What's It's turn 3, aka Raven Guard.
Right, so this is bottom of Raven Guard turn 3. Movement. I move my falling back guys over to his land speeder. My Terminators came down, and I just spread them out to kind of contain from his Terminators. And I moved my Assault Marines in character up further, like where Loth used to be. And my plane just moved a bit further to his Stalker. Shooting phase, I tried shooting at this with mostly everything. I only put 1 hull point on it. I also tried to shoot at the Stalker, and I put 1 hull point on it as well. And my Dreadnought that could only snap fire and not move hit 3 times on there with its assault cannon, but did nothing. So not very impressive shooting phase. However, in combat, my Assault Marine and my captain there killed Loth, so that's nice. I killed his land speeder, so there's none of that shenanigans. And this tactical squad broke for my 3 Terminators, and currently falling back. So that's all that happened this turn. You can see at the bottom of Faggot Patrol counts as turn 4.
So it is the end of Deathwatch, aka something with Scorpions, turn 3. Let's start over here. So, this Razorback, because it didn't move, fired everything at 2 Terminators with Thunderhammers and Storm Shields under here and killed them. There used to be a Talon here, but this fine young gentleman fired and killed it. These guys managed to put a wound on Cleary's Forge World character, whose name escapes me. Corvidae, that was it. The Storm hopped over the wall and fired its heavy bolter in the blindy thing, and actually managed to blind Cleary's Thunderhammer Storm Shield Terminators, which definitely helped me in terms of combat. Of course, they charged, and I believe I killed 2 of his Thunderhammer Storm Shield Terminators, but he killed my sergeant in a challenge, which was funny. So they didn't run. This Razorback fired at Clarence's Dreadnought, didn't do anything. There was a 3-man remainder of combat team that regrouped and then got into said transport. What else? This last cannon fired at the Terminators, didn't do anything. This last cannon, I can't even remember. I think it fired the Dreadnought, yeah. And yeah, then my Thunderfire opened up over here. I killed his last cannon and 2 other Marines, so that was cool, but they didn't run, they just got pinned. So yeah, it's kind of rough. I lost my warlord, but you know, we're still sort of in the game. And of course, oh yeah, my Talon fired at these guys in the building, causing them to run, killing two of them, or no, just one of them, sorry. And oh yeah, our scouts are continually, they're fighting forever. So yeah, we'll see you at the end of Raven Queers. Raven Guard turn 4.
Okay, so this is bottom of Raven Guard turn 4. For movement, not too much happened. These guys moved up, they rallied and moved up there. I just moved over to take a shot at them. My forgeable character jumped up there. Dreadnought moved up to kill the tank. My Captain Kill and friend moved over there. For shooting, there was pretty much nothing that was accomplished. Everything missed. He didn't do anything to the tank. And in combat, the Terminators just hit each other with hammers. I charged these guys and killed the Sergeant with Hammer of Wrath in the challenge. Over here, I just killed one guy because he passed some Feel No Pain, thanks to Red Shidian's chapter tactics, and I blew up his tank here. However, his scout finally won the 7-round combat showdown. It's been going since the bottom of turn 1. And I'm pretty worried, because if that skill can survive in combat for 7 rounds, well, I'm completely fucked. Anyway, see at the end of fucking Scorpion Pupils turn 4.
Now it's the end of Deathwatch, aka Red Scorpions, turn 4. Starting over here. My Razorback moved up 6 and fired ineffectively at his Dreadnought yet again. Corvidae hit and run combat here after eating some monsters, so these guys are whatever ran on here. Corvidae's there. This guy moved up 6 and fired at Ski Mask Mohawk's one assault troop that was in here but didn't do anything to him, and then the other shots fired at those guys and didn't do anything. The Storm fired at that Stain Sergeant. Didn't blind him because he passed his initiative test, and didn't do any damage because he passed his armor saves. So eventually my scout threw a crack grenade, failed that, then charged and regulated, so he managed to kill him. My scout is a pimp. Got a tie combat here. We killed each other, so like we're down at 2 and 2. Interesting. My last cannon here fired point blank and still missed because this game doesn't have modifiers. Over here, combat squad was up here, got down and charged, and so it's a pretty big melee in there. Cleary killed, what, 2 of my guys or something? 1 or 2 of my guys. Anyway, the combat's still going on. I killed 1 guy. And then my Fun to Fire here fired at the dudes in the park over there. And I think I killed 1 dude, so pretty cool. My Talon went into hover mode. And kind of got on the other side of this wall just to get some cover from Ski Mask Mohawk's last cannon. There was 2 remaining guys. Because it's got a turret, I was able to fire out of the arc. That's right, arcs do matter for flyers, morons. So yeah, that's cool. Got him on objective there. He's still holding 1 objective back here. I'm holding an objective right now, this single scout. So scouts are doing their job. It's interesting. Cleary probably has it, but we'll see what happens. So see you at the end of Raven Guard turn 5.
Okay, so this is turn 5 of Raven Guard. Knife fight didn't happen, so we'll see at turn 6. Not much happened. These guys moved around to shoot and charge the Storm Talon and went to hover mode. Didn't do anything. Corvidae came down and grenaded the scout, so that was pretty fun. Terminators still slugging it out in combat. The Dreadnought moved up and assaulted. He rolled a 6 to overwatch, but Sully only rolled a 3 to glance, or try to glance. He didn't glance because it's a contemptor, and I caught him when he tried to. Our weapons are useless. Run away. And then over here, Captain Kill is still killing it up, fighting 2 squads at once. 1 squad is blinded from his sword, and that's pretty much it. And see you guys on bottom of Deathwatch turn 5.
So it is the end of Deathwatch, aka Scorpions turn 6. It's getting pretty rough. Over here, I killed Ski Mask Mohawks, Contemptor Dreadnought after much frustration. My pissed off homeboy killed his Corvidae dude with his plasma pistole, I believe. This fine young gentleman fired. I thought it no, it was over there. That's right. Hit one Marine, didn't kill him. So nothing there. Two Terminators basically more or less killed each other, sort of. So you get that one-on-one going on, which is really funny. What else can I say? Ski Masks, Chapter Master won the combat here, so he's chilling on the objective, and he's got Score Lord, so he is scoring that objective currently. Something will have to be done about that. Over here, my Talon moved and fired at the scouts, but they made all their 2+ cover saves. So, hooray for that. And yeah, it did end up going on at turn 7, so we'll see you at the end of Raven Guard turn 7.
Hey, so this is bottom of Raven Guard turn 7. Can't believe it actually went to the end. Really not much happened. These guys threw a crack grenade. It actually penned, but he passed his 5-up jink. Scouts threw a crack grenade too, because they went to ground 66 anyways. Still rolled a 6, rolled a 3 for the shot though. Last cannon missed. Move on to the Eternal Combat. We still survived each other's blows, so that's fun. And my Chapter Master threw a crack grenade at his tank, inflicting the hull point, making it unable to fire properly in his turn, so that'll be helpful. That's it. See you at the bottom of Deathwatch turn 7 at the end of the game.
So, it's the end of Deathwatch, aka Red Scorpions turn 7, and thus the end of the game. It ended up, well, I'll tell you the tale. So, my tech priest, who was kindly liberated of his artillery, moved and fired upon the Chapter Master, doing nothing. He also failed the charge. My Stalker, who's a champ, managed to put a wound on the Chapter Master, but he still had one left, and unfortunately he's Score Lord, so he's scoring that objective. My Razorback had to snap fire, so no luck there. This combat with Terminators is still happening. They're just such chieftains that they're just, fucking going at it. What else? Moving down here, I did some incredible bullshit with my turret just to get around their cover via LOS because we don't play as air terrain. Killed 3 scouts, and they did not fail their leadership, so they remained on the objectives. So, it would appear that Clarence, aka Ski Mask Mohawk, has a whole VP for killing my Warlord, and he's got Linebreaker in addition to having 2 objectives, so it'd be 8. All I got was First Blood, so it'd be 1 VP for me. So yeah, pretty resounding victory for Raven Guard. We'll see you in the post-game show. We're gonna do MVPs and epic fails orally. Just because we're really fucking tired, and he's about to die from his sickness. So, my MVP, I need some thought. Clarence, I'll go to you for your epic fail.
Alright, so my epic fail would be my Storm Talon, simply because it didn't get to perform at all. Came in
got taken out quick.
Yeah, I didn't, even on its initial strafing run, it didn't do much, so.
Yeah.
Just ate some bullets. That's pretty much it.
My MVP, I'm actually go with the Thunderfire, because the thing is, the Thunderfire this time around did not scatter very much with the initial shots at all, so I was averaging 8 wounds pretty much every time. I think the lowest I got was 5 or 6.
4, you rolled
4, that was
4 rounds in 1 roll.
Yeah, so, but I mean, it did really well. It did what it was supposed to do. It took out your troops and pinned you and annoyed you. And it just cost nothing. And, so I don't know, that'd be MVP. My epic fail,
Centurions?
Yeah, I'll go with
You did
them
1 wound with
because they did not perform. I wanted to split fire because I knew that getting the Dreadnought in the face would be really bad news. And I figured all I need is a 6, so the second you're mobilized, I don't care what you're shooting, so that didn't happen, and then you made all but 1 of your involved saves, so that was really rough.
4.
And then we still had to contend with the issue that there's no real rule for how wounding works with different armor saves, so that was an issue. Hopefully one day we'll get an FAQ. But yeah, I don't know. They didn't work out. I like Loth. He's incredibly broken. So if Forge rolls in, I'm sure I'll be taking him again.
Yeah. Speaking of Forge rolled, my MVP was my Contemptor.
I can see it.
205 points, not a lot. Like, comparatively speaking, like, Riptide's obviously better for the similar amount of points.
You're getting real close to Thunder,
but
Storm Shield territory.
But he tanked a ton of last blast shit, and kind of forced the like beachhead of through like the gates.
That's what I love. Is he's just like, no, I'm coming in here.
Yeah,
and he just destroys one tank. Fucking boom.
Killed your Thunderfire.
Killed
Corp Day, like everything did very well. I'm actually surprised you didn't give your Scout Sergeant your MVP.
It's just
Scout
that in the
Sergeant.
end, if you had held that objective, but it's just the fact that it's like all for naught, you know? But he was very good. We should both give MVPs to our fucking Terminators. He just like would not die. I mean,
No.
I wish there was more evenly matched combat where it was just like a time bleed on both ends as opposed to
Hit and run.
But yeah, Clarence, if you could change your list, would you change anything, and if so, what?
Maybe give the second Scout Squad as Landspeeder Storm, but then I would be tempted not to hold them back.
You have two spells?
I would buy one.
Like yes, yeah. No, that'd be good actually. Raven Guardy.
Maybe make a 10-man Assault Urn Squad, that'd be cool.
I'd love to see it.
You just have to build guys with mag backpacks.
Just don't deep strike it.
No, deep strike into the dead.
Yeah,
One
just
good roll.
Come at you.
But yeah, I don't know. Everything worked out except for the storm.
I was happy with my storm.
Yeah, well. And for the Linking bullshit.
Storm.
Storm Talon.
Oh, no, I meant my storm.
Oh. Well, mine gave up first blood, so it also didn't get to do anything.
I just like that I finally did what you're always doing with the blinding. Like, it was actually annoying, so it was funny.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That helped
blinding, the
interpret.
fiery sword, like one comment, like each tried to blind the other person.
Fucking fire sword. I would, if I could change anything, I don't know. I wish I could have found something to tank for the honor guard because they came down, they just got cut down. When the last cannons see you, you don't have cover.
Yeah,
it kind of mitigates them. Which is funny because they could probably put up with a lot of shitty fire. It's just good fire is gonna get them.
Honestly, like, also, like, you knew I had a chapter master, right? And you didn't.
I totally forgot.
I forgot about the big kaboom. Like, it scattered.
Yeah, it scattered. But I lost the dev center off the bat.
It's like
so
30 firepower.
It's stung.
All of my voice.
Oh, your voice is just like, it'll just like peter out. We'll just keep talking until you're like dying.
Yeah, I
can't
can't wait to argue with my manager tomorrow, too.
Yeah, fuck your manager. I don't know. My overall thoughts on the game would be it was actually fairly back and forth. It sucked that your deep striker got mishapped right off the bat.
That's fine.
I mean, it just I can't see if like killing 5 Marines with tac squads like super easy. So that could have been annoying to contend with. Plus the pod being there, you could have probably deep. I'm assuming you paid for.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you could have beaconed off of it. But it was fairly back and forth. I was a bit overzealous with Loth. It was just neat to be.
The honor guard weren't really well supported. They're just there.
Well, I mean, they were in the line of fire of the last cannons. I tried to run them and I rolled 1. If I rolled even 2 more inches, like they would have been out of LOS. It would have been totally up to the assault there. And really, if I only lost one of them to shooting before combat, I could have really struck back hard.
He also passed like 11 out of 11 armor saves on that combat.
Well, the other thing too was that it was your Thunderhammer in the end that did them in because of the AP2. Everything else didn't care. So it was like, if I could have forced you into a challenge with my own Thunderhammer guy, we probably would have just like...
Sergeant.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you had him. Right, yeah. So no help there. Yeah, I hate that about fucking challenges. Just whoever has the most characters.
I love it because I know how to do it.
Yeah, for now. At least we saw combat.
Lots of combat. Scouts,
Yeah.
honor guard, lots of assault marines were combating.
I can see the appeal of 30k because Marine on Marine is pretty fun.
Yeah.
Not fluffy, but...
Well, it is fluffy in 30k.
Yeah, exactly. Alright.
There are no Xenos armies made by Forge World anymore, by the way. Like
2 minutes, your final words on the game, your thoughts on the overall game.
Thought it went pretty well. There was like one or two like mishaps maybe. Not moving the last cannon squad in the building was dumb. I thought around turn 5, I should have moved them. Then I was like, well, the game's gonna end.
I thought the placement was weird too. The last cannon was one floor under.
Oh, it was just so like you can barrage it.
Oh, okay, it makes sense then.
But yeah, in every turn I was like, I should have moved them, but like I thought that it would end, right? So.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, they could have gone for the objective just in case.
That's true. It was neat that it was equal objective.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was different.
Yeah. Not much else to say other than fuck Jervis Johnson. I guess that's pretty much it.
Give us our facts back.
For facts
Give
sake.
my voice back.
Yeah. He won't be able to speak again until you get the facts back.
Man.
So you better do it. Anyway, we'll cut it off there. Thank you for watching us, and we'll see you in some future that's kind of hellish and a little bit weird.
Where GW takes all our money.
Kirby's coming. And I mean coming. Thank you, Carl.
You're welcome.